Obito Uchiha, a name that resonates with pain, tragedy, dark choices, and ultimately, redemption. His journey is one of the most complex and moving in the Naruto universe, because it reveals how even the purest dreams can be distorted by life's scars. Today we'll delve into the entire story of this unforgettable character, from his childhood marked by loneliness to his final moments when he found peace alongside those he once loved. Obito was born in the Leaf Village, a member of the powerful Uchiha clan. However, unlike many in his clan, his childhood was lonely. He grew up without knowing his parents, without family support, and always seeking recognition. This lack of affection made him a child who deeply longed to be noticed, loved, and valued. His greatest dream was to become Hokage, not out of ambition for power, but because he believed that, in doing so, he could earn the respect and affection of the people in the village. Entering the Ninja Academy was the first step in trying to achieve this goal. But there, Obito quickly realized that he didn't have the same natural talent as other boys. While he struggled to learn the basics, there were students like Kakashi Hatake, who stood out as geniuses from an early age. This difference planted feelings of envy and frustration in him, but it also spurred him to never give up. However, Obito's life wasn't just made up of defeats. At the academy, he met Rin Nohara, a sweet and kind girl who always believed in his potential. Rin was his first true friend and also his great love. She saw in Obito a kindness that many ignored, and this gave him the strength to continue. At just 9 years old, Obito graduated and was assigned to Team Minato, alongside Kakashi and Rin, under the leadership of Minato Namikaze. From the beginning, the rivalry between Obito and Kakashi was evident. While Kakashi was serious, skilled, and respected, Obito was impulsive, clumsy, and often underestimated. But this difference also allowed them to complement each other as a team. The first test Minato administered was the Bell Challenge, just as would happen years later. With Naruto's team, the objective wasn't to capture the bells, but to learn the value of teamwork. Despite the difficulties and friction, the three managed to show enough cooperation and Minato approved them. Thus, Team Minato was officially formed. Later, they participated in the Chunin exams. Obito, eager to impress Rin, tried to use a fire technique from the Uchiha clan, but he messed up and failed miserably, being defeated by Might Guy. Even defeated, he didn't give up, and continued training with determination, always sharing with Rin his dream of becoming Hokage. But fate had far greater trials in store than any exam could offer. When the Third Great Shinobi War broke out, even children were thrown onto the battlefield. Team Minato was given the mission to destroy the Kanabi Bridge, essential to the enemy forces. However, during the mission, Minato was called to the front lines, leaving Obito, Kakashi, and Rin alone. It was at this moment that the real drama began. Rin was captured by enemy ninjas, and Kakashi, recently promoted to Junin, insisted that they should prioritize the mission. Obito, dissatisfied, rebelled against this decision. It was then that he said the phrase that would forever mark Kakashi's life. Those who break the rules are treated like trash, but those who abandon their friends are worse than trash. Determined to save Rin at any cost, Obito left alone. Kakashi, reflecting on Obito's words and how much Rin meant to him, ended up changing his mind and going after him. During the rescue, Kakashi lost his left eye, but Obito's will to protect his companions awakened his Sharingan for the first time. Even so, fate was cruel. During Rin's rescue, a rock slide nearly killed Kakashi, but Obito pushed him out of the way and ended up being crushed in his place. Trapped under the rocks, knowing he was on the verge of death, Obito made one last request, that Rin transplant his Sharingan to Kakashi as a parting gift. With tears in his eyes, he said goodbye, lamenting that he had never been able to confess his feelings to Rin and had never become a true friend to Kakashi until that moment. For Kakashi and Rin, Obito died there. His name was engraved on Konoha's memorial stone, but Obito's real story was only beginning. What no one knew was that Obito was rescued by Madara Uchiha, already in old age. Although his Sharingan survived, the entire right side of his body had been crushed. Madara used Hashirama's cells to reconstruct it, partially transforming it into something artificial. During his rehabilitation, Obito met Zetsu, a being created by Madara, and began training with his new body. Gradually, he learned to use Kamui, a special power of his Sharingan, and to adjust to his new reality. Still, his heart remained with Rin and Kakashi. It was then that Zetsu brought him devastating news. Rin was in danger. Desperate, Obito rushed to the battlefield. But upon arriving, he witnessed a scene that forever broke his spirit. Kakashi, his best friend, had pierced Rin with a Chidori. Without understanding the situation, Obito was consumed by fury and despair. At that moment, he awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan. Driven by hatred and pain, he massacred all the enemies present, but completely ignored Kakashi, who was crying over the loss of Rin. The boy who dreamed of becoming Hokage died there. What was born was someone willing to destroy the world and rebuild it in an illusion where he could stay forever. By Rin's side, back at Madara's hideout, Obito heard his words about the futility of the real world and the need to create a new reality through the infinite Tsukuyomi. Obito accepted this plan, inheriting Madara's mantle and vowing to fulfill his dream. It was then that the identity of Tobi was born. To deceive everyone, Obito presented himself as a clumsy subordinate in the Akatsuki. But in reality, he was the one pulling the strings, behind the organization. Working in the shadows, he manipulated Nagato, Konan, and other Akatsuki members to advance his grand objective. As Tobi, Obito was involved in numerous crucial events. He helped Itachi and the Uchiha clan massacre, took control of the 4th Mizukage, manipulated the capture of the Jinchuriki, and strengthened the Akatsuki. Behind the mask, he orchestrated every step to gather all the tailed beasts and bring back the 10 tails. His manipulation was so profound that it deceived even his closest allies. He used the ignorance and pain of each one to transform them into pieces on his chessboard. And for years, no one knew his true identity. Finally, Obito declared the 4th Great Ninja War, gathering the army of White Zetsu and, counting on the alliance of Kabuto and his Edo Tensei technique, he plunged the shinobi world into chaos. He became the Jinchuriki of the 10 Tails, faced the entire shinobi alliance, and almost managed to cast the infinite Tsukuyomi. It was at this point that the fight against Obito transformed into something much bigger than just a war. Naruto Uzumaki saw in him not just an enemy, but a reflection of what he himself could have become. Naruto saw in Obito the weight of an abandoned dream and the pain of a broken heart. And with his persistence, Naruto managed to reach the human side that still existed within him. In the end, Obito was defeated not only by weapons and jutsus, but by the strength of Naruto's hope. He began to realize that he could still choose, that there was still time to fight for something good. He then decided to use his last strength to protect his old friends and help Team 7 in the battle against Kaguya. Obito sacrificed himself to save Kakashi, being mortally wounded. In his last moments, he transferred his power and his Sharingan to Kakashi, allowing him to use Susanoo and help defeat Kaguya. In the spirit world, Obito said goodbye to Kakashi and found his younger form again, ready to move on and finally reunite with Rin. For the first time in many years, he smiled in peace. The story of Obito Uchiha is one of the most moving in all of Naruto. A lonely boy who dreamed of being Hokage, but who was dragged into darkness by the pain of loss. A villain who nearly destroyed the world, but who found redemption in the final moments of his life. A character who reminds us that we all carry light and shadow within us, and that even after so many mistakes, it is still possible to choose the right path. Obito was not just a villain, nor just a victim. He was above all human. And you, what did you think of Obito Uchiha's story? Leave in the comments who you would like to see as the next character whose story is told here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss the next content. Thank you for watching, and until next time.